All right, welcome back to the Quality Matters Daily Dive. I am Kyle Chambers with Texas Quality Assurance, where quality management gets simplified. Today, we're going to be taking a look at one of my personal favorite tools, both from the role as a quality manager, HSE, QHSE manager, and now on the consulting, auditing side of the business. It's just a really, really fantastic tool that I've loved to use for years, and we call it the QHSE walkthrough. Now, I don't care if you're ISO 9001, API Q1, Q2, 14001, 45001, maybe you're still running that 18002 standard out there. Whatever the case may be, this is a fantastic tool. It is very simple, very easy to use, and what's better is it's effectively a miniature version of an internal audit. We're going to be hitting on so many aspects of the business in a very short, very concise period of time, and that's really what we're looking for. Is that not the holy grail for business and compliance and quality management? Is let's do the most with the least amount of resources in the shortest period of time and get the most output possible. Here you go. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and take a look directly at this. Now, this is coming from our bank of sample documents that we've put together and provide. We do not yet have this available on the website. We're going to be getting it up there. So here's the website for any of y'all. We've got tons of free QMS resources, from sample forms for, say, design, development, vendors, you name it, tons and tons of free stuff up there. We're going to be getting this up there. It's not yet, so you can email me directly, kchambers@texasqa.com. I will be happy to get you a copy of this. And we always provide the editable Word and Excel documents on the freebies we give. We don't pull any of these weird strings and shenanigans. You're going to make sure you got something you can actually use, right? So let's talk about the QHSE walkthrough. This is meant to be conducted in less than an hour, if not only 15 minutes. I strongly recommend anyone in a leadership position be completing one of these on a weekly, at least monthly basis of your facility. Just such a fantastic tool. So, basics. Who did the evaluation? What they evaluate? Pretty simple, quick and easy. Then we're going to move on to an employee interview, right? So the first part of this employee interview, we're going to talk about the policy, okay, the QMS policy. Do they have any idea that we even have one or know anything about it, right? So we're going to talk about QMS policy. Then we're going to talk about the QMS objectives in here. All right, so let me zoom in like this here. I think that'll be a better way to take a look at this. All right, so we're going to talk about the QMS objectives. Now, again, the idea here is, do they know anything about it? Do they have any target in their mind for objectives for quality? They may not. I mean, we just sometimes, unfortunately, don't know. But what we're looking for here is, do these folks have some concept of it available in their head? I'm not looking for regurgitation word for word. In fact, if someone is reciting it word for word for me, it kind of makes me a little nervous sometimes, because I want people to tell me what it means to them. In any case, my own personal preference there. Your team might be different. So then we're going to take a look at the project identification. They have to be able to tell you what they're working on, what someone's working on, what project they're working on. And then we're going to take a look at the job traveler, work scope, job ticket. There's 1,000 names for it. Again, editable document, so feel free to edit and revise it to your heart's desire. But we're going to be taking a look at that and saying, cool, do they not only know the project they're on, do we have a good job traveler? All right, then we're going to move on into a documentation review. We're going to leave this employee interview. We've collected the information we're looking for from them. Now we're going to move into a documentation review. Okay, so documentation review. We're going to take a look at any inspection tools, methods. Oh, looks like I accidentally left that capitalized there. So with inspection methods and requirements, have we identified ahead of time? Likely in the job traveler, maybe in another work instruction. Again, depends on your team, but we're going to identify, how are we going to check it? Okay. Do we have any drawings? We're going to be looking for document control here. Is that drawing properly numbered? Is it approved? Is the latest one available? Then we're going to take, oh man, I had a fun time here on some of these spelling issues. Sorry about that. Made some last minute changes to kind of regroup things here together for you. But the quote estimate expectations, do we have that quote available, right? So if that quote's not available, I mean, what do we have for contract review? So it's going to give us a chance to dig in a little bit deeper. What did we promise would be done? What actually got done, right? Then take a look at the customer purchase order. Now, your team may be different. Maybe you do or don't receive purchase orders. It all depends on your organization. But I'll tell you something I found a lot of times, and it's kind of a sneaky thing. I don't like it, but it happens, is folks will throw in additional requirements on that purchase order that weren't in your proposal or contract or master service agreement. And so you definitely want to check that purchase order. Let's just make sure that there's nothing extra they required in there that we indirectly accepted and agreed to do. We're going to take a look at material search traceability. What materials have been billed to this job? Can I find any traceability for it? Now, again, we're not doing a full audit on all the traceability for the company. We're just looking this one little project. But you do enough samples like this, and you start to root out problems ahead of time. Then we're going to take a look at maintenance, calibration, verification. We're simply looking at the tools the guy's using. We're going to jot down some information, and then we're going to see if we can find the preventative maintenance records, calibration records, verification, whatever it is we're looking for. Make certain that we're working with good equipment. But that's it. That's the quality part of the walkthrough. Honestly, the first time you do this, it'll probably take you about an hour or so to do it. The third or fourth time you're doing it, you're breezing through this in 15 minutes, and you're finding really, really good, really specific information to go back, review, revise, and correct. Also, once you've interviewed all of the employees in the shop 2 or 3 times, or they've been interviewed by someone else, they're going to know what's coming, and they know what's of value to you, what's of value to your team, your management system. They're going to make sure these things are documented before you even show up. All right, the next piece here is we're going to take a look at health, safety, and environmental issues. All right, so we're going to be looking at all the basics. Again, feel free to add, remove, edit, modify here, right? But housekeeping, walkways, slip, trips, and falls, eye protection, lockout, tag out, fire extinguishers, you name it. Do we have any permits or issues with spills or leaks? Again, you name it, we can have it in here. But the goal here is that you are not doing the walkthrough on your own. This same employee we interviewed up here, I strongly suggest you walk them around and have them complete the checklist with you there, coaching, guiding, and training. Again, this is only about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes away from their workstation. We're not talking about a large disruption in the day. We're not looking at lost productivity, nothing like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to get them to look through your eyes to see the shop, how it ought to be versus how it is. Again, you do this enough times and you really start to build a strong culture around quality, safety, and environmental management. And you did it. Here's the beautiful thing. You do it without having any harsh penalties. You do it without boring lectures. You do it without regurgitating the same information on the toolbox talk you've done 50 times in a row. You're getting that employee to directly show buy-in and integration into the process. So it's really, really a fantastic tool. So like I say, let me know if this is something you are looking for. I'm happy to send over a copy of the document directly to you. We're going to have it available on the website shortly. We're just making a couple of tweaks, modifications to it, trying to make it more generic, I guess you'd say, before we put it up on the website, but it's going to be there. Again, just really, really fantastic tool. Probably the single most valuable tool I have used in my experience to drive that cultural shift and change. So check it out. I hope it's something helpful. And if you need anything, don't ever hesitate to contact me directly. And I hope to hear from you guys soon.